The 2021 college football season has officially ended. A season full of upsets. A season that has been one of the more crazy and unexpected seasons that anybody could have seen. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about 5 moments that show just truly how crazy this season truly was. And obviously, it is not going to be covering everything that happened in the season. As well as you know, there's over 120 plus Division I FBS college football teams. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to cover every little crazy thing that happened. But these are 5 crazy things that I believe are some of the craziest things to happen. And before I move on with the video, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as we are on the road to 10K. Now let's get into it. First, I am going to be talking about preseason Heisman favorites that didn't exactly meet expectations. And when I'm talking about Heisman favorites, I mean guys that they thought were either going to win it or be Heisman finalists. For example, Spencer Rattler was a lot of people's Heisman favorite and a potential number 1 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. But neither of those things happened, as Spencer Rattler actually got benched during the season, and he wasn't exactly playing up to par either. With DJ from Clemson, he had hype heading in, and some thought he was going to be a Heisman finalist. Not many had him winning the Heisman, but they could see him winning the Heisman in the future, especially with a strong season improving from the short time that he started in 2020. Now, this was far from the truth, as DJ really struggled, and in my opinion, out of all the quarterbacks that I'm bringing up in this video, he struggled the most, as he ended up throwing more interceptions than he did touchdown passes, which he had 10 total interceptions and 9 total touchdown passes thrown. With JT Daniels, he had a Heisman hype going in. He was seen as a for sure Heisman finalist and seen as the guy who was potentially going to win it, as a lot of people thought it was going to be JT Daniels or Spencer Rattler to win the Heisman Trophy in 2021. But that was not the case, however, as JT Daniels was the starting quarterback early on for Georgia, but he would go down with injury very early on, and even when he came back, Stetson Bennett was the starting quarterback, and he never lost that job to JT Daniels. Even then, in the beginning when he was healthy, I wouldn't say he was playing at a Heisman level. The final player that I have as a Heisman contender that did not show up for his expectations that he had was Sam Howell. Now, Sam Howell actually played the best out of all these quarterbacks, and he had a good season. But this was the worst year Sam Howell has had as a college quarterback in his career yet, even though it was a good season. And the matter of fact that you're not going to win the Heisman if your team is not the best. For example, North Carolina is 6-7 to close the year, and Sam Howell finished the season with 24 touchdown passes, 9 interceptions, 3,000 plus yards thrown, and 11 touchdowns on the ground. The next crazy thing from this season that I feel like is worth noting is the Oklahoma quarterback controversy. Now, heading into the season, OU seemed like they were going to be set. They had a chance at the playoff and maybe even the national title. It seemed like this was the year for them to win a playoff game, and it was going to be with Spencer Rattler. Rattler had the Heisman hype. He was seen as the favorite. People thought he was going to be the number 1 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. There was no way it was going to be the Caleb Williams show in 2021. But in fact, Spencer Rattler lost his job and Caleb Williams would take it from him. And that was something that nobody saw coming from a mile away in the preseason. Honestly, the way that Caleb Williams also replaced Spencer Rattler was pretty crazy as well, as he led a miraculous comeback in the Red River rivalry game versus Texas. The next thing that I had that was another crazy event in the 2021 college football season was the head coaching changes. We saw Lincoln Riley leave Oklahoma, a job that people thought he was never going to leave unless it was for the NFL, take his talents to USC. Ryan Kelly, the head coach of Notre Dame, a team that he coached there for a very long time, leaving them to go to LSU. Mario Cristobal, The Oregon Ducks head coach coming in, and he left them before the season was done, just like Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley, to go to Miami. There's been way more changes than just those in the season, like Venables to Oklahoma, Napier to Florida, and many, many more. On to the next topic. We have top teams heading into the season that were seen as locks to win their conference, and they've been on winning streaks winning the conferences, not even making the conference championship game. Ohio State was seen as the favorite to win the Big Ten Conference heading into 2021, and rightfully so. They had good pieces returning, and they were coming off a national championship appearance, and people thought CJ Stroud was going to be the truth, and CJ Stroud was a really good quarterback and a Heisman finalist. They had 4 straight Big Ten title wins going into the season, but they would get stopped as their streak would end, even their streak that they had on Michigan, as Michigan would be the winner of the Big Ten this season. Heading into 2021, Clemson was on a 6-year win streak for the ACC title, and it didn't seem like it was going to stop heading in, as a lot of people thought Clemson was going to be a for sure playoff lock, a team that wasn't really going to have much struggle in the ACC, just like the past few seasons, and it was going to be another year where the Clemson Tigers were going to add another ACC championship title to their trophy case. Clemson would not end up making the conference title game, and they finished the year in the Cheez-It Bowl, where they beat Iowa State, and they finished 10-3. Just like Clemson heading in, OU was also on a 6-year conference championship winning win streak, and people did not think that was going to stop, as OU had a lot of hype heading in, and they were seen as a team that was potentially going to go to the playoffs, and maybe, just maybe, get their first ever playoff win, as people thought this was going to be their best team in a while, especially with how the defense was looking in the end of 2020. But OU would have a lot of close calls this season. A lot of people thought they were overrated, and they would not end up making their Big 12 championship game, as they lost to Baylor and Oklahoma State. On to the last thing I am going to be talking about in today's video, and what I think might be the craziest thing that happened this season was Ohio State linebacker Kayvon Pope quitting the team mid-game versus Akron. This came when Kayvon was trying to enter the game and was on the field, but was waved off almost immediately by a teammate, and he was frustrated. The aftermath of this whole situation is that Kayvon would end up entering the portal to nobody's surprise, and he's still currently there today. Well guys, if you made it this far in the video, drop something down in the comment section below. What did you think was the craziest thing to happen this season? And before you head out, remember to smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly, out.